On the island of Bali, the sea has always been the home of demons and evil spirits. The gods live up in the mountains and active volcanoes. It's a Hindu world where good and evil coexist. The people who live here feel the presence of the gods and spirits around them every day. Their art is like an offering to these gods. In fact, on Bali, art and religion are almost the same thing. Even though many things are changing on the island, their arts are still very much alive. Bali is about the size of Wales, and on it there are more than 10,000 temples which are used every day. All these temples are highly decorated. And here, only 6 degrees south of the equator, where wood rots and limestone crumbles in a few years, the gods are constantly recreated. Everyone on Bali is an artist of some kind. Every child learns to sculpt or paint, to dance or play music almost before he can walk. But because of the interest from tourists and art collectors around the world, painting is now the most popular art form among the young boys. They are widening their techniques with new materials like acrylic paint, but their subjects and styles are still very much concerned with life around them on Bali. With the massive influx of tourism, it's not surprising to see new subjects cropping up like cars and cameras. But for a people who've always feared the sea, surfing is something else again. Surfing is an international cult with a language and lifestyle all its own. It's also a dangerous sport which takes years to master. But on this island, the boys have brought to the sport a style and agility which has allowed them to come a long way in a short time. One of the reasons for their quick progress is dancing. It's something most of them have been doing since they were 5 or 6 years old. Anom, who's 11, is practicing the Baris, one of the 50 different Balinese dances. His teacher leads him through the movements of the Baris again and again, so that the spirit of the dance will enter his body. The Baris demands so much agility, it's a dance for boys, not for men. And by the time he's 18, Anom will be considered past his best. Anom has never actually been on a board before, but like all the kids his age, he was dying to have a go. And Bobby, one of the best surfers on the island, gave him a few instructions before taking him out into the breakers. Learning to stay on the board whilst trying to get through the breakers is the first and most frustrating stage of surfing. Anom's sense of balance learned from his dancing helped him, despite his Balinese fear of the water. As a surfer, Anom still has a way to go, but as a dancer, he's already one of the best on the island. Traditionally, the Baris was danced by a group of warriors before battle. But now it's become the male solo on the island, and is performed at village festivals. The dancer's face must reflect the stylized emotion of the warrior, from fury to compassion. And in the Baris, the dancer leads the orchestra, rather than the other way round. Surfing started on Bali in the early 70s when Australians and Californians came looking for the surfer's dream, open space and unridden waves. Surfing magazines began to talk about the perfect 10-foot swells, and soon surfers came from everywhere. Within 2 years, the Balinese were surfing alongside some of the best in the world. One of the first was Yoman Radiasa, who's usually called Bobby. He works in Wayan silversmiths, making jewelry for the tourists.
Hey Bobby, how often do you do this?
Oh well, I have to make the vessel of this ring, this spool ring. Well, it takes about, I don't know, about 15 minutes.
Yeah, how often do you do it? How many times a week?
Well, actually I could done it 2 days, one ring, something like that, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is how you make your living?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Well, plus, you know, work for something else, like selling stuff or something.
What sort of stuff?
Well, rings. Those things, you know, the stuff with stuff. Well, my boss done and sell it.
Who's your boss?
Well, this guy.
What's your name?
Wayan Conrad.
How long has she been doing jewelry?
Well, over 20 years.
Is this how you went to Australia the first time, selling this?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But, well, most of the bread, my friends give it to me, you know. I mean, lend it to me, and then I pay them back after I work there.
Yeah.
I have to work there again.
You worked in Australia?
Yeah, I did.
What did
yes.
you do there?
Well, work in a factory here in Convercable.
Doing what?
Oh, my, you know, operate one of the machines.
Yeah. That's how you survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so.
Bobby learned to surf in these breakers in front of his house. The waves aren't the biggest on the island, but they have a nice shape, and you can ride them to the left or to the right. Bobby leads with his left foot, and like all surfers, he prefers to face his wave, which means riding to his right. Falling has always meant swimming a couple of 100 yards to collect your board. But in the last 5 years, the leg rope has revolutionized surfing and allowed the Balinese learners, who can't swim, to spend hours practicing. Surprisingly, some of their parents are beginning to get interested too.
Everybody likes now because they know that it's kind of sport and they're interested to ride it on the wave. You see, they really enjoy it, you know. This kind of show when all the old people sing this, all the young surfers ride on the wave. Mm-hmm. You know, they especially when someone who ride a very, very good wave, they said, wow! Everybody said, wow! Before I always surf daytime, afternoon, morning. Yeah, I surf a lot. So I think I have to leave something, you know, like I leave surf for a while. So I go on a business, open up the shop. I want my brothers and sisters to know a bit education, you see. That's why I have to leave surf for a while and then go on a business. Just to improve the families. So, but still I have time in the afternoon if there is good wave. I'm still surfing too.
Shops like Darsana's, where you can hire surfboards, buy clothes and Balinese art, have begun to spring up all over this part of the island. Surfing is becoming big business. Maybe not as big as the air-conditioned tourism on the other side of the island, but the influx of dollars is changing things. With 30,000 tourists a month, Bali could change faster than any other place in the world. But most things are very much the same as they always have been. The boys may now be surfing, but they're still performing the old dances, like the Barong trance dance. And even when it's in front of the tourists, the trance and the knives are real. The Balinese have never liked traveling. And 5 years ago, these kids would never have left their own village. But already they're dreaming of waves. And in search of the best, they'll get together any sort of transport and follow the experienced foreigners across the island. Today, the big waves are breaking 25 miles away off the cliffs of Uluwatu.
Okay, let's have those bikes.
A major factor in surfing is the wind. It has to blow off the land to lift and give good shape to the waves. On an island, if it's blowing onshore on one side, it has to be blowing offshore on the other. So now the boys are following the wind and seeing parts of Bali they would never have seen before. The people of Uluwatu find this new interest in their coast rather strange. This remote peninsula has always been a very sacred place. The few people who live here respect and fear the waters off their cliffs. It was only discovered to be a surfing paradise in 1972, and until then, no one would have dreamed of going out to the big waves over the reef. Just to reach the cliff top, there's a 2-mile walk. To the locals, Uluwatu is a dangerous and mysterious place. But to the surfing world, these are some of the finest waves anywhere.
You're on board, man.
Hey, Shindet, watch out. I know, baby. Oh, God, you put things in it. What's going on, man?
Man, you have to cry, man.
No, man. Ada pun. Ada.
Good water.
Mana ombaknya? Mbak, kawan gedean ucapan nih kawan. Ucapan gedeannya. Yang. Wih, gede coba no. Wong kancil. Oh, besar lagi.
For foreigners, getting here means a trip of 1,000 miles and a struggle down the cliff. For the Balinese, it's been a journey out of 1,000 years of belief. For the 2 million people on the island, the sea around them still remains the home of demons and evil spirits. farmers' sons who live around Uluwatu are in the water before they have time to think about taboos. And when the surfers come in for a rest, they borrow the boards and play about inside the reef. In 2 years, they'll be on the big waves outside and as good as the famous surfers they watch every day. Yoman is 18. He plays in the village orchestra and dances the ketchak. He's only been to Uluwatu 4 times, but he's been surfing for 18 months.
Yeah.
Like all the kids, he got his first board from a foreigner who stayed with his family. A lot of the families have built extra rooms onto their houses where visiting surfers stay. When they go, they'll often leave their boards as gifts or to help pay the rent. Yoman doesn't carve or paint or make anything to sell. His father and brothers do that. He's the family salesman.
Pantai. Dagang perak.
He says today he's going down the beach a few miles on his bicycle to a new hotel. He says he won't try to sell much. The wind's offshore and the swell's up for the afternoon tide and he wants to go surfing. He'll just try to catch a few tourists. It's a good time when they're relaxing on their verandas after lunch.
Do you take American dollars?
Yeah, we can do American dollars, you know. If you got Indonesian money, we can do too.
Your family make all these?
Yeah, all my family.
You make some of these or not?
Some as my uncle.
Very nice, this blue one, isn't it, Richard? I think my daughter would like a bigger one for another finger.
You can look later. Got like this kind, you know.
Colour.
You see? This is dragon, you know. You see? And king monkey and the dragon.
So that is a good spirit.
Yeah. This one is king monkey, is Hanuman, and with Sita. You know.
So how much are these all together?
The best price, you know. If you want to know my start, just 10,000 look. This is my good price, just 8,000 probably.
So this was 2,000, did you say?
2,500.
2,500.
Yeah, and this one is 4,500.
And this is 4,500. Is that the lowest price?
Yeah, that's a very low price at that.
And a low price for more than one?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, good. And this?
And this one is 2,500.
I think, have I seen that cheaper somewhere else?
I think so, yes. I think they're too expensive.
Yeah, don't worry the price, you can get less.
Yes, maybe we won't have that. We might have a box instead.
Hello.
The big waves on the outside reefs at places like Uluwatu don't break every day. They depend mostly on storms in the southern Indian Ocean. But the shore breaks at Kuta Beach are there almost all the year round. And for the boys who live here, they're perfect for practice or just playing on.
Just put
Surfing will soon be spreading across the whole of Indonesia, and in a few years it'll be a national sport. And it's these Balinese boys who'll be representing their country at contests around the world. They'll be among the world champions of tomorrow. But already they've begun to make their surfing something Balinese. They're overcoming their fear of the water, but they still make protective offerings to it, because for them, the sea has a part in the deep religious feeling that exists everywhere on the island. But to some of their parents, this new habit of waiting for waves in the midday sun seems rather strange.
Every time when I go back to the village, my mother say, "Oh, you look different. Your skin so dark. Your hair's go light. You know, why you want to be like this?" And I say, "I don't want to be like this. I just interesting what I'm doing. I like the ocean. I like surfing, and then I don't care how hot it is. I should enjoy myself." And I said that to her.
G'day is one of Bali's most promising surfers. He's also the only married surfer, and he's got 2 kids.
The surfing thing for futures, I think they keep you strong, healthy, and they bring you more happiness to me. Happiness surfing.
G'day now supports his family on about $25 a month by renting out motorcycles. As surfing expands across Indonesia, he and the other locals will become national heroes and the new professionals. A lot of the younger kids are postponing marriage because they prefer waves to wives. But even with his family, G'day still manages to get 3 hours in the water every day. Before his marriage 3 years ago, G'day underwent a ritual that every one of his younger surfing mates still has to go through. The Balinese believe that the canine teeth are an unpleasant reminder of man's animal nature, and before marriage, they must be filed into a regular line. Wayan is a batik painter. He does the fine drawing with hot wax, and after the first dye, his younger brother does the rough design. Batik is another innovation on the island, even younger than surfing. It came over from Java to help satisfy the tourist demand. Whatever they put their hands to, whether for tourism or in the masks they use for their own temple festivals, the Balinese show the same vigor and strength that appears in all their art and is beginning to overflow into their surfing. In spite of all the innovations in their lives, these young Balinese still have a strong sense of community. Whenever there's a village festival, whether for marriage, for teeth filing, or even a funeral, they're always there, helping with the makeup, the costumes, and any last-minute rehearsals. No matter how good the waves are today, Bobby and G'day and any other surfer from this village will be here helping with the preparations.
10 hendan. 10. Pas anu iki pan.
The main event of today's festival will be a masked topeng play done by the older men, but the opening scene will be performed by the girls of the village. Many of these girls, like this 11-year-old, have already been dancing for 5 years. A troupe of frogs acted by the boys will also be included today.
Itu. Sekarang? Iya, di belakang. Bading. Nung bading. Udah sengaja. Udah sengaja. Jangan.
The stories of the topeng are from Balinese mythology, and the one today is similar to our own Princess and the Frog. The stories are already well known to the audience, but through the actions of the players, a whole system of moral education is passed on from generation to generation. The topeng doesn't try to show real people from the past. It only illustrates their types. Here a loudmouth fool meets two characters he takes to be monkeys. Little Made is 11 years old. He's only been surfing for a year, but no one on the island has taken to it quite like he has. Practicing and playing on boards twice his size, he moves on these small waves like a surfer of 5 years' experience. And with movements like this, changing his leading foot in mid-wave, he'll be top favorite in the new junior contest. Even though they've never walked the few hundred yards down to the beach to watch him surfing, Made's family have heard that there's a new contest, and there's a £25 first prize. They have a lot of ideas about where the money's going to go. Made's grandfather says there's a lot of ways they could use the money. He says that door needs fixing. Those steps over there could use mending. And that outside gate. He says there's many things need fixing. But Made's got other ideas.
What do you think the chances are of winning this little contest coming up?
I don't know.
What would you do with the money if you won?
Oh, if I win, I save in the bank. When I will become a big buy some motorbike.
New ideas like competitions and tourism may be very distant to Made's parents, but to him they're now part of life.
Chips here. And the fish.
Pineapple.
Pineapple? No, no.
Pineapple lemon and satu lagi di sini. Who has lemon?
This is for me. Thank you.
What do you order?
Pineapple. You're pouring lots.
This bombardment of new ideas might have destroyed any other people in the world. But the Balinese retain their strength and vitality because of one thing, Bali Hinduism. Every boy, in fact everyone, has an unbreakable link with the temple and all that it signifies. The biggest festival of the year is Odolon, the temple's birthday. It draws every villager back to his temple. People come to bring offerings, watch the events prepared for the gods, to enjoy themselves and to pray. At every Odeon is the ritual battle between good and evil. The problems of everyday life are shown in the characters of these plays. The most powerful of all is Barong, the big protector of the community, who snaps his teeth at evil. A day spent in a Balinese temple best shows the unity of art and religion. The dances, the costumes, the music, the offerings are their art. But here, offered to the gods, they become their religion. The Balinese believe in a world where everyone knows his place in the opposition of good to evil, of gods to demons, of mountains to sea. They seem to have the strength not to resist change, which is impossible, but to absorb it, to live with it, to let it enhance their life rather than destroy it. Of all the 13,000 islands in Indonesia, it's ironic that the Balinese, who fear the water the most, should be the country's first surfers. But as they take the sport to the other islands, they're going to bring to surfing the same strength and grace they show in the culture on their own island.